Today's video is tough and I want you to understand it properly. I won't take that much time. Listen to me. 32.9% of the South African population is jobless. Would this be a fault of immigrants in South Africa, or would it be something else that you had never heard about? At least this is what movements like March in March, Dudula, and many other movements inside of South Africa says, that we have no jobs, we have no life, we have no conditions inside of South Africa because of immigrants. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The truth is, no, this is not true. Listen to me. All of these movements that you do see, starting from Dudula, to March and March, and many other movements, they are here just to follow someone's agenda. Ask yourself, where does their agenda coming from? Where does their agenda come from? Where does their money come from? From where do they get money to feed this movement? From where they get money to buy t-shirts, banners, and so many other equipments? They got the money from somebody, from someone who is much powerful. Let us go back in time and you will understand. I won't get tired of telling you this, because this one must be understood. My channel is still small channel, it's still new, but I believe that within a year I will be understood by those who wants to understand the reality of the things. Listen to me carefully. South Africa was South Africa without borders, like Mozambique was Mozambique without borders, like Swaziland without borders. So when the movement of the European community started to colonize Africa, they divided Africa in order to make sure that they would use Africa as their farm, and they would have rights like, okay, this land is mine. They decided to go to Germany in order to divide Africa. From that meeting, we call it in Portuguese Conferência de Berlim, might be Berlin Conference, something like that one in English. They divided Africa, they put borders there. The borders wasn't borders for us, was borders for them, because they wanted to extract our rich resources and take them to their continents, their countries, to build their empires over there. So to ensure that they wouldn't fight, they decided to establish borders. Do you understand? So during this one, South Africa have been colonized by the white people. Those white people did not want the South Africans to own South Africa. Do you understand? That is the reason why South African independence came later. Because of what? Because of the help that the South African movement, independence movement, had from their neighbor countries. The neighbor countries decided to hug South Africa and give shelter to those who would need shelter in neighbor countries while they were fighting against the apartheid regime. Do you understand? So South Africa, during that period, South Africa wasn't allowed to be enjoyed by South Africans. South Africans were just simple animals inside of its country. Do you understand? And during that period, you saw black people being treated. I don't know if you read story. I don't know. I don't know if you read books. I don't know if you have that culture of reading. Me, I do have a culture of reading. So the white guys, they tried to control and put black South Africans away of big investments, while the country were South Africans. You see. So after that one, when they need labor, they did not hire locals. They hired neighbor countries' citizens, and they contracted them, took them to South Africa. You understand? Because of what? They did not want to give the power to South African. Do you understand? So South Africans fought. So South African fight it. So you South African, you fight it to get what you got now. And then you got your freedom. And the apartheid went down. Because of what? Because it was not legal to be racist. Racism was already destroyed. It was illegal. There was laws. Those laws, the aim of those laws was to protect the black people, was to protect one person from another. You understand? So from that one, the white guys, when they gave the papers to Nelson Mandela, like, okay, you can become a president right now, they had agreement with Nelson Mandela. The agreement was, what is what belongs to us, you don't take. We will teach your black citizens, we will work together. So from this one, they still don't want black people to be in charge in South Africa. What they do, they start making people think you don't have job because of the foreigners. Listen to me. What skills you have, what degree you have, what you have, how do you sell your knowledge? Did you go to some company and show that company that you are capable to do something, and that company say, no, we don't want you, we want someone who isn't capable to do this one? Did you? Or you decided, like, okay, let me send this guy away and I will start demanding for a job? Because of what? It doesn't make sense. Because if you look deeper, you will end up understanding that might be someone who doesn't want South Africans to focus on the political issues and solve the political issues. Do you understand? That someone wants South Africa to focus in just a random thing, just like, focus on that and do not focus on me, because me, I'm the problem. Because Mozambicans, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, and many other brothers of other nationalities, African countries, when they go to South Africa, they look for a job. They got a job. How do they look for a job? How do they got a job? And they pay rent, they pay water, they pay food, they pay transportation, they pay many fees. How do they do to get the job? How do they do to get the proper work? No matter if they are documented or not, how do they do? Why don't you do the same? Why don't you do the same? Because if you look at the graph, you will realize that immigrants are not jobless in South Africa, are not jobless, but the locals are jobless. Why? Why don't you start your own business? Why don't you do this and that? The only thing that I will keep on suggesting you is to understand that this agenda, when you see Dudula much in much pushing you like, okay, let us push these black Africans away and so on, they are throwing your attention into something else while they are driving things in another way. Once the movement is political, do not believe in that movement. The movement must be not political, must be civil movement. Yeah, that movement will be genuine for that. If someone comes with an idea and start institutionalizing the idea and make it a big something with office and so on, and it becomes political, just go away from that. That is not for citizens. And another thing that I want you to understand is, it is easy to fight against immigrants. You guys, look at yourself. Because this one, you want, even now, South Africa is building a walls. These walls are useless because in the border, me myself, I can go and come from South Africa with no documentation. I don't do that because me, I'm legal, okay? I don't do that because me, I'm legal. I do have a passport. It is much cheaper to have and own a passport than be illegal in South Africa. You see, because I saw how the mafia works in the border. If you pay 50 rand, if you pay 100 rand, you were able to go wherever you want to go, even inside of South Africa. Many immigrants are staying inside of South Africa because they bribe the officers. There are some police who already know where does this illegal is living or are living. They usually go there like, okay, give me 1 rand, give me 10 rand, give me 100 rand, give me this and that. Because they know that they won't refuse, because if they refuse, they will be and took to the jail and then put it in Lindela and sent back home. So in the next morning, they come back. As Julius Malema said, foreigners are not coming to South Africa. Foreigners are already in South Africa. The only thing that you have to do is to start thinking outside of the box and do not support these political movements. Focus on your own ideas. Let us see. You have foreigners in your community. You don't like to have foreigners in your community. You guys go and ask them to go look for a proper documentation, okay? If they don't get the proper documentation, you go to the police and ask the police to come and get them arrested or something like that one. Do not kill. Do not come and, push. No, do not do that, because you will be going against the human rights. When the human rights starting making pressure to South Africa, you will feel. Look at us now. We are facing problems. In Nigeria, South African enterprises are being sent away. Why? They are saying in Nigeria, we don't want South African company. Imagine if that happened in Mozambique. Companies like Sazol, banks like Standard Bank, many other enterprises, companies, how they will pay their taxes. How many workers do those companies have together joined? Huh? Do you know how much it will damage our continent? In the end of the day, is a black one fighting against the black one. And non-white guy is involved directly in this. This is not a black agenda, no. This is a white agenda. Do not chase other black people, okay? So this is the thing that I wanted you to understand, to hear from me. I hope you like this one. So some they like my content. And thank you for teaching me English. Now I can build a phrase just like normally and with no worries. So thank you for helping me to improve my English. See you in the next video. I'm gone.